Hello, subscribers and non-subscribers, and welcome back to ChäoS. It has been a while, obviously. I do want to let you guys know that I will be away next week, so there will be no roommates. And if I had the time to today, I would have gone ahead and recorded an episode of this and roommates so that you could get both, but I don't have the time to do that because I've got to go and record Star Trek Online as well, and I'd also like to record Vehicles of War Thunder. So, yeah. But as I said, I'll be away next week, so there won't be really anything going up next week. But yeah, let's go ahead and continue with the game. While I was having my stupid daydream, it has been quite a while since I played this, so I don't really remember what was going on when we last played, or when I last recorded this. But, oh well. While I was having my stupid daydream, FES murmured something tiny voice and swiftly went, what? Murmured something in her tiny voice, I guess is what it's supposed to be, and swiftly went away? Let me check that. Okay, no, it does not show it in here just yet, I guess. Now, let me check that. Okay, it's definitely much longer, I think. No. Okay, that last line does not appear to be showing up in here, which would indicate to me something else. I don't know what, but I definitely don't see that line in here. Having been completely ignored by her, Masumi was sulky. Given that she could so cleanly turn down an invitation from a stud like him, perhaps FES was actually the Yuri type.
それはすごくいいスールです。
Especially if her little sister was a lolly type character like Nanami. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, that was it, okay.
あんな不愛想な女、もう二度と相手にしてやるもんかよ。
For a second time, yeah. The fan translation for this, I think, is where these issues come into play, because I doubt they were in the original game. So, this is one reason why I would really like to have an official English translation. These issues would likely not exist, with it cutting off certain lines of dialogue to the point where you actually have to scroll up to see the dialogue history, just so you can see the rest of the line. And then somehow have lines missing, but it would also allow you to have your encyclopedia thing in here, wherever the hell it is. The glossary would be translated. So yeah, I would love to see an actual English translation of this, but I don't see that happening anytime soon.
あー、うぜえ。だいたい何が剣を見つけろだ。わけわかんね
I'm going to assume that's I don't get it. That would be correct.
剣。
ああ、岸本がそう言ってただろ。剣を見つけろ。そうすれば救われるって。
Being saved.
なあ、ターク。ファンタズムの歌にそんな歌詞でもあるのか？
Okay, just like that. Okay, I wasn't sure if there was some more that was supposed to be afterwards. A sword. Had she been referring to something like the mic stand-esque thing she'd used during her show? Now that she mentioned it, 2 days ago a completely different person had interrogated me about a sword. The girl called Senna had been amazingly scary. I thought she'd cut me down for real. The sword she held had differed in shape from the one FES brought to her show, but they possessed similar atmospheres. I wondered if they were connected in some way. I don't know. I don't know a thing. Shogun, the demon girl, Yua, FES, Senna, a sword. As was my habit, I organized the things I didn't know by marking a bullet point list of them in my head, or by making a bullet point list of them in my head. I don't know why I said marking. I considered tacking on I myself as the last item, but I stopped. I was perfectly normal. My surroundings were aberrant. That'd be obvious to anyone. Was FES my ally or my enemy? That was all I really needed to find out, but I wasn't brave enough to talk to her. Today I went to Animeite without stopping by at Cafe. The reason, of course, was to pick up my long-awaited Baracha Sera post-awakening version. While I was buying it, Yua's face briefly flittered across the back of my mind, but I soon forced that train of thought to a stop. I took a look at the Sera put out on display to catch customers' eyes, but since the sculptor was Kojima Yoshio, nothing indeed needed to be said about the quality. I'd better hurry home and savor every nook and cranny of her. I'm not going to try and do his laugh. As long as I could gaze at Sera's face every so often while playing Ensu, I was happy. Despite that, why did the third dimension have to keep bringing me nothing but burdens? It was the same now. As I forgot all about FES and her sword and headed off for my base with a new spring in my step, when I had been about 50 meters to go, I encountered two men who possessed an undeniably out-of-the-ordinary air about them. I thought I would pass them by without meeting their eyes, but they were blatantly watching me. Not really. Out of the two, the one who spoke was a bleary-looking geezer like you'd see gambling at a racetrack. Messy hair, unshaven, suit wrinkled, necktie sloppily tied, and shoes with no trace of polish. The vision of a man who'd failed to get ahead in life. Somehow, the fact that he was flapping a handheld fan at himself only served to emphasize his wretchedness. His expression, too, was melancholic. He put on a flippant smile. But his eyes, which met mine for the barest second, weren't laughing. I had nowhere to run to. While I wavered about how to answer him, the two of them came walking right up to me. The geezer took a black folded badge out of his breast pocket and held it out to me. It was the type of police ID I'd often seen in TV dramas, though it was, of course, the first time I'd laid eyes on one in real life. They had finally come. I could only think of one reason: the staking. There was zero pressure present in his manner of speaking, except the other, younger detective wore a severe expression as he casually changed his position to block my path. I started sweating. If I did anything stupid, they might start suspecting me of being the perpetrator and haul me off to the police station. I couldn't let that happen. I resigned myself to my fate and gave a small nod. As I thought. Wiping the sweat off my forehead, and nodded back at him.
3番目に起きた通称貼り付け殺人事件も当然知ってるよね。この近所で起きたわけなんだけども、その目撃者を探してるわけよ。あ、ちなみに君、名前聞かせてくれる？
I couldn't help sucking in her breath. This wasn't Zhuge Liang's trap, was it? I guess that's how you pronounce it. I probably screwed that up. Or maybe they were a group of con men who'd act like policemen while talking to me, when really they were going to extract my personal information and put it to ill use, or else underlings of the demon girl herself.
あれ答えてくんないのかな
Once they started doubting me, there'd be no end to it. What should I do? If I answered with a false name, that alone might give them sufficient grounds to arrest me.
ああ、個人情報保護法とか気にしてるおじさんそんなに信用なさそうに見えるかな
Yeah, you do kind of look untrustworthy. Yeah, you do. Anyhow, his amiable manner of talking was surely just an act.
西条匠
In the end, I couldn't think of anything to do and had no choice but to answer honestly.
西条匠くんでいいかい
I nodded.
本当に
Huh? What did he mean by it, really? What was with that reaction? When I'd been good enough to answer truthfully.
いや、こりゃ失礼。今のは気にしないでくれ。
The detective's deliberate-sounding laugh echoed through the quiet residential area. Ugh. I wanted them to be quicker about releasing me.
その制服、水明だよね。何年生
Did I have to answer that kind of thing, too?
に
悪いね。聞き取れなかった。おじさん、もう年だから耳遠くてさ。もう一度言ってくれる
2年生
ああ、2年生ね。で、西条さん。聞きたいことってのは、先月の29日の午後6時から10時頃にかけて、どこで何してたかなんだわ。
You say the 29th of last week as if there was a 29th of this week. So you could just say 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. on the 29th. And if you've already gone over to the following month, you could say the 29th of last month. But there's no need to say 29th of last week because there's only one 29th in each month. Except for February, where you don't always have a 29th. Were they asking for my alibi? Could it be that they suspected me? But that was absurd.
いや、別に君を疑ってるわけじゃなくてさ。その時間にこの近くにいたなら怪しい人物を見かけたとか、何か音を聞いたとかないかと思ってね。
Somehow, listening to this detective talk really got me irritated. Maybe speaking in such a way as to purposefully anger the subject was a kind of interrogation technique. But I'd seen a suspicious person with my own eyes, distinctly. Vacillated? I don't know about whether it was okay to tell that to this sketchy-seeming old fogey. Essentially, he wondered about whether it was okay. What would I do if I told him and the demon girl came to retaliate? Right now, it seemed like she was letting me slip by, but she had the precog Shogun as one of her toadies. She herself must be able to use some sort of unbelievable power as well. That might truly be the case. If so, if I were to speak about the demon girl to the police, she might have already found out by using her sixth sense of something. And then maybe she would come to kill me.
なあ、西条君。今日はそんなに暑いか
When he said this, my heart rate jumped. If I didn't say anything more, they'd definitely think I was the criminal. but I was scared that even if I lied by saying I didn't see anything, they would know I was faking it. The older man used the fan he was carrying to fan the side of my face for me. A cool breeze stirred my hair.
もうすっかり秋だ。汗かくほど暑いとは思えんけどな。まあ体質ってのは人それぞれだしな。
I didn't exactly want to hear that from a guy who walked around with a fan in this season, but admittedly it wasn't particularly hot today. The temperature was at just the right level for comfort. I wiped my sweat off again and again with the sleeves of my uniform.
僕はやってない。
おお。
The color in the detective's eyes changed. I realized I must have said the wrong thing, but I didn't understand what part of it had been the wrong thing in the first place.
何をやっていないんだ?
They totally suspected me. My only option was to answer truthfully. Staring down at the manhole that happened to be located right at my feet, I shouted.
見たんです。貼り付けの現場、そこに女がいたんです。で、血まみれにして死体の前に杭がたくさん死体に突き刺さってて、あれ500本は絶対超えてた。異常だ。死体がハリネズミみたいになってて。
That's an interesting comparison.
女は僕を見てよかったって笑ってた。あの女は悪魔だ。人間じゃない。ニュージェネの母親には人を超えた存在なんだ。
Okay, now you sound like the kind of person who would go to a psych ward.
ヨシとかすごい超能力とか使う。
Though, I guess you kind of always sounded a little bit like somebody who would end up in a psych ward. When I'd said that much, I realized the two detectives were staring at me blankly. Yeah, they're like, what's he talking about? Maybe they didn't believe me. I shut up again as that thought occurred to me.
悪魔か。なるほどね。そいつは参考になったよ。
本当です。
ああ、分かってる分かってる。貴重な情報だよ。
僕を警察で守ってください。
Yeah, we know the perfect way to protect you. We'll just go and toss you into a jail cell for a couple days.
その前にその
I
女
wouldn't
の
be
年
surprised
は
if that were to happen.
服装とか顔の特徴とか。
Well, she was about our age, pink hair. Kind of hard to miss the pink hair.
水明。
水明って水明学園？
その制服着てた。
つまり西条君と同じ学校の生徒か。
After lapsing into thought for some time, the old man grinned and then muttered something that could have been either a real question or a rhetorical one.
何年生だろうな、その女子高生は。何年生だと思う、西条君。
わからない。
じゃあなんて名前だと思う？
わからないよ。僕はあの悪魔の名前なんて知らない。
その女の身長、体重、あとついでに3サイズについては。
Right, because our main character is definitely going to know, well, really, just any of those. What was up with this geezer? Was he mocking me? How could I possibly know even one of those? I don't have a moronic love comedy manga-esque power like being able to tell someone's height and weight in 3 sizes from a single look.
なるほど。黙ってるってことはわからないってことだね。結構。参考になったよ。これは本部に戻って検討しないといかんな。
先輩、マジっすか？
Lifting a hand to silence the dumbfounded younger detective, the older one gave him some kind of sign with his eyes.
西条君、ちなみに連絡先とか教えてもらえる？
なんで？
Well, they need to make sure you're alive. They didn't believe me after all. They wanted to label me a deviant and set me up as the criminal.
だって悪魔だっけ？そいつから君を守らなくちゃならないだろ？
Oh, I get it. Thank God they believed me. There'd be nothing more comforting than having the police looking out for me. Of course, our opponent was a demon, so maybe even the police could get felled with a single blow. But it was better than being completely unarmed. A tiny bit relieved, I took out the cell phone I'd bought the other day and showed its number to the detectives. The younger detective wrote it down in his notebook.
忙しいところありがとうさ。君の身の安全は警察が保証するから何の心配もしなさんな。じゃあまた何か聞きたいことができたら電話するかもしれないんで、その時はよろしくね。イルスとか使わないでくれよ。今のところ警察にとっては君は重要な人物だからな。君の目撃証言は事件解決の重要な手がかりになりそうだ。
Could become B. Yep. I'm telling you, really need an official translation. It'll get rid of a lot of these sort of silly mistakes.
じゃあな。
The two detectives bowed their heads to me and swiftly walked away. After turning back to glance at me, the younger detective began saying something to the older one in lowered tones. The older one kept walking without responding to him. I took deep breaths. I'd been so nervous. It was my first time being questioned by real detectives. I'd acted pretty suspiciously, but somehow they believed me. Maybe. It'd be wonderful if the police caught the demon girl. But the police were basically powerless, so it might not be a good idea to expect too much from them. Noticing that the inside of my mouth had become desert dry before I knew it, I bought a plastic bottle of Coke from a nearby vending machine.
四つん這いエロすぎ。後ろから見たらパンツ丸出しじゃんか。だがそれがいい。テラエロ顔。やっぱこの泣きそうっつうか生きそうにしか見えない顔が木島義雄のいいとこだよな。マジで木島 GJ。半脱ぎ下手に隠してる方がエロいし、この左手の位置とかやばすぎ。上着キャストオフとかこの角度からじゃほとんど全裸にしか見えんよ。
I don't even... I don't quite know how to react.
髪の動きがいいよな。覚醒バージョンは髪が命って持論があるわけだが間違ってなかったな。
Uh-huh. Also, how exactly does her hair flow? Because chances are her hair is made out of the same plastic-like material as the rest of the body. So, yeah, the hair is definitely not really flowing. Obviously, in a literal means. Guess they just mean it has a lot of detail to it, and so it kind of almost looks like real hair, but it's obviously not.
さて、それではお待ちかね、パンツ行ってみようか。どれどれ。V ゾーンの作り込みいいよ。シワのつき方リアルだしって。これスージーさんすげえ。マジですげえ。クオリティ高し。
I'm telling you, I don't know how to react to this. Don't know if I should laugh or cry.
これセーラタン5作目にして早くも最高傑作爆誕じゃねえ。これ以上すごいのなんて出せないってマジで。やっぱ木島は神。
And I'm sure in some capacity they're gonna let us see all this. I carefully placed the news saver next to my PC monitor. I'm not going to continue with the dialogue anymore. Simply looking at her made me grin uncontrollably. This truly was a moment of supreme bliss. I got right down to posting my impressions of the Seira figure at one of the @channel figure threads. After having done so, I checked my email and whether or not any of my friends in Furipara had made updates.
おっと、前触れ申請来てるじゃん。
How's that a whoops?
誰これ？セーラーコミの人か。はいはい、ゲイですよ。
You should always try and figure out who the hell it is that they sent friend invites. The second I thought alright about time to start Hensu, I sensed a prickling at the back of my neck. It was the gaze, with its unusual intense presence. Shit. What a pain in the ass. It's been a while since we've gone red, so let's go red. When was it that I'd first begun to sense this gaze? I'd long since forgotten completely. It interfered with me at every little turn. There were a lot of different elements that kept disturbing my uneventful life. But this gaze was right up on Nanami's level in terms of being a horrendous bother. Fine. Then maybe I'll play it. The "it'll take more than that to make me turn around" game. Still facing my PC, I tried to come up with the kind of lines you'd find in a manga.
貴様、出てこい。僕の目をごまかせるとでも思ったか。甘いな。バレちゃった。当たり前だ。僕の後ろに立つなと何度言えと。
Eh? Had I heard a female voice just now? Goosebumps sprang up all over me. Did this mean the previously unseen owner of the gaze had appeared at last? Was that even possible? Should I turn around and see who it was? But what if she attacked me the second I turned around? It had been a rather cutesy voice, but what if a monster far removed from anything I might recognize as human was standing there? No. If that were the case, she might be readying herself to attack me at this very moment. If I didn't turn around, maybe I wouldn't even notice when she killed me. Perhaps I should say something again to see if there was a response. The voice I heard earlier may have been an auditory hallucination, or one of my delusions. At least to admit that you have them. I mean, I always talked on and on with my Seira figure in my head. It was the same as that. I started to take the plunge and ask, "Who are you?" But I soon ran into hesitation. It might be bad if I provoked her. It could turn into the trigger that made her come attack me. I envisioned so many different possibilities that I found myself unable to move. What to do? Perhaps I was currently in a terribly foolish situation. It would be way too dumb if the owner of the gaze wasn't really there, and the truth of the whole matter was that I'd been sitting in my chair all this time, trembling in terror of my delusions. It wasn't an auditory hallucination or a delusion after all. There was someone behind me. Startled, I reflexively turned around. Well, things are gonna go badly from here on, I'm sure of that. The demon girl! The girl sitting on the sofa was undeniably the one I had met at the scene of the staking. For some reason, she was looking at me with a grin. Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. She'd finally come to kill me. It had to be because I told the police the facts. She'd seen me do it with her second sight. And so she'd entered this room soundlessly, and she'd established herself in a position from which she could kill me at any time, and she decided to gaze upon me as I wept and screamed in fear. That had to be it. Don't kill me, I tried to scream, but my excessive terror made it hard for my voice to come out.
コンビーフ
How do you get corned beef from a word that starts with D-O? Though, granted, of course, they probably have some slight comparison or similarities if you were to actually take this into Japanese. Craning her neck, the demon girl let forth the words of some mysterious spell. She was cursing me or something. It must be black magic. Clearly, it has to be black magic. It can't be anything else. In hopes of opening even a little distance between me and her, I decided to flee beneath my computer desk, but I was so shaken that I hit my head on the edge of the desk and curled up in pain on the spot.
何やってるのタク今すっごい音したよコツンって
The demon girl still didn't lose her amused to seeming smile. But it was surely a trap to lull me into a false sense of security. The moment I relaxed, she'd home in for the killing blow, or else maybe she had already placed a curse on me with the magical words she'd used before. The magical words of corned beef. A few days later, I might suddenly die by bursting all over with blood spurting from my body. That's... oh, okay.
頼むよ殺さないで
I cradled my head and splayed myself out on the floor. I detested the two detectives who had appeared before me with every fiber of my being.
警察に喋ったこと謝るから
警察
それに話してもちっとも信じてもらえてなかったし
It was a lie to buy myself some time. The older detective from afore had told me he would guarantee my safety. If he were doing his work properly, he must have sent at least one officer over to keep an eye on my place. Having thought that far, I gulped. I'd given that old man my phone number, but I hadn't given him my address.
ビシッ
So is she gonna suddenly try and be German? The demon girl suddenly snapped into a salute-like pose. And bizarrely enough, she muttered something resembling a sound effect for it of her own accord. Was this, too, a devil's curse?
独り言はやめるべし殺さないでとか警察がどうとか私には何のことかさっぱりだよ
In the dark, she says, Did she intend to play dumb? Or was she silently pressuring me with, forget everything you saw, act as if nothing ever happened? This girl, what the hell is she thinking? Didn't she come to kill me?
ほら立てる立た
Rising from the couch, the demon extended a hand to me. Her expression seemed extraordinarily gentle, plus, when I saw her this close up, she was pretty cute. Shit, I was turning into a total idiot here. I think a demon looked pretty cute? What the fuck? She was a murderer. She'd used Yua and Shogun in her attempts to entrap me. Now she'd come to kill me in person. Don't believe her. I'd already learned my lesson from what had happened with Yua. I'd never make the same mistake again. That was why I didn't take her her extended hand. Don't be deceived by this demon girl's smile. That was the temptation of a devil. If I gave in to temptation, I'd die. Don't believe in anything. Don't believe in anything anyone says.
だって見たんだお前が人を殺してるとこ
あのさタクそれかなりひどいこと言ってるって気づいてる
You know, I get the feeling if we had gone with green way back when we had the opportunity, we'd probably be looking at Sarah here. And it'd be something completely different in terms of attire. and the conversation, of course, as well.
まさか殺人犯呼ばわりされるなんてね。ははは。
What did she intend to do with me?
ニュージェネの
Would I, in the same way as that guy in the fourth case,
殺すんでしょう。それとも岩とか将軍とかがいる場所に連れてって。
ユア将軍誰それ
maybe the three of them felt like banding together to get rid of me in a group lynching.
そんなのやだ。助けて。
And we're gonna be ending this once our dream sequence here is over.
じゃあね、私を殺人犯扱いしなければ助けてあげる。
So that's how it really is.
そんなビビらないでよ。いちいち私がへこむようなリアクションしてくれるよね。
お願いだ。もう二度と誰にも喋らないから。だから見逃して。
もしもーし、タク、ちょっと落ち着こう。
Bitch calling me Taku all friendly like. Come to think of it, how'd she know my name? She known my name even when we met for the first time at the staking crime scene. Why? And how had she known where my base was?
当然でしょ。あなたの名前を知ってるのは。
Had she read my mind? Like I thought, she was clairvoyant. She known my name and my address too because she'd used her power on me.
タクって結構独り言多いよね。前から思ってたことだけど。
For a while? Since when? Speaking of which, had I been talking to myself just now? I myself had absolutely no awareness of it. Really? Had I really truly been talking to myself? What were the chances that she was lying to me, or that she'd read my mind?
タクの名前を知らないわけないよ。私、物覚えはそんなに良くない方だけど。友達の名前くらい覚えるよ。
Friend.
それともタク、私のことバカにしてる？そりゃ私、テストの点数はそんなに良くないけど。面と向かってそういうこと言われると傷ついちゃうな。
How did we say anything that would reference your grades? Was someone here weird in the head? Who? Me? This girl?
もしかして転校生。
そういえば近いうちに転校生が来るらしいよ。スカチン先生が言ってた。
The two halves of our conversation didn't match up. My previous fear, mixed with the strain of having no idea of when I might suddenly get killed, was starting to fade. But in its exchange came a different variety of dread, gnawing its way into my heart and making me go cold.
もしもし、その顔はまさかまだ信じてくれてない？
誰だ？
Who are you? She was a murderer, a demon girl.
タクこそクラスメートの顔を覚えてないんだ。ひどー。
I don't even think we have anyone with pink hair in our class. Further reinforcing the idea, at least in my opinion, this character is more or less just to complete an entire delusion of our main character. Classmates, she says? In other words, we weren't only friends, we were classmates?
でもまあしょうがないか。タクはあんまり学校来ないもんね。だからって私の存在丸ごとなかったことにするのはどうかと思う。私の名前本当に忘れちゃった？
Yes, I have as well.
そんなことないよね。知ってるでしょ？
Even though I have a Photoshop folder, or I have a folder in the Photoshop document that I used to make the thumbnails for this that has this character's name, I don't remember it.
あなたは知ってるはず。
And of course it's gonna cut there.
リミ。
そう、正解。
Oh,
賞
that's
金
not.
50円プレゼント。
That's like what? A nickel? In US currency?
え、
私、崎畑リミです。なんだ、やっぱり覚えててくれたんだね。よかったよかった。
Why? Was it true? Was this girl... Was this demon girl's name really Rimi? Why had that name come floating up into my heart just now? Why did I know her name? Could it be that she really was my classmate and my friend and I'd simply forgotten? No, impossible. I'd never so much as heard the name Sakahita Rimi before. It must be a fake name. I said Rimi so she'd make it... So she'd made it her name. It was the same as my impersonation con. In the first place, other than Yua, I'd never known a 3D girl who talked to me with such familiarity. Well, beyond your little sister, and I guess Yua. And Yua was the demon girl's subordinate. Ah, I get it. What the girl called Sakihata was enacting right now, right in front of my eyes, was the very same method Yua had used. Knowing I wasn't used to interacting with 3D girls, she'd meant to lead me into a trap by behaving friendly with me and tempting me. Anyhow, I neither had any recollection of my classmates' faces, nor wanted to remember them. But I could at least say I'd never seen this girl's face in the same classroom as me before, not even once, probably. No good. I couldn't totally rule it out. After all, when I was at school, I stayed fixed at my desk from beginning to end, either pretending to sleep while having daydreams or staring at the surface of my desk, or pretending to read my textbooks and nothing else. I had practically no memory of my classmates' faces and names. I'd made no effort to remember them. Which was it? Was she telling the truth? Or lying to me? No. The issue was whether or not we were classmates. At least, the undeniable fact of the matter was that she'd committed murder.
もしかして本気で思い出せないの？さっき頭打ったせいで記憶喪失になっちゃった？
I think that would require a lot of force to cause amnesia by hitting your desk. The demon girl extended a hand toward my head. I fled under my desk again to avoid her.
たく変だよ。
This is going to be a fairly lengthy episode, I think.
じゃあ大地に聞いてみて。そしたらタクも思い出せるかも。
Daichin? What was that supposed to be? Versus name? Or some kind of secret code? A devil's evil spell?
大地だよ、大地。三角大輔。
She knew Misumi's name? On top of that, calling him Daichin? She wouldn't say that unless they were really close.
ちょっと待ってね。
The demon girl reached for the bag, set down next to the sofa. I didn't own a bag like that, and took out a cell phone.
大地はと。よし、オッケー。はい。
After appearing to fiddle around with it for a bit, she held it out to me. When I did nothing to take it, the demon girl smiled wryly and abruptly seized my hand.
ほら、固まってないで。
She forced me to take hold of the cell phone. The demon girl's hand was soft and faintly cold. I thought it would be a far colder, more icy hand, but it wasn't all that terrible. It would seem that even murderers had blood flowing through their veins. Rather, because her hand was unexpectedly feminine, my heart started beating faster. No, don't be misled. She was a demon. I wouldn't let her tempt me. Not into 3D stuff. Lend me your strength, Sarah.
タク、携帯使ったことないの？電話機は耳に当てるんだよ。
Head tilted, the demon girl took a peek at my face from very close by me. Still, holding my hand, she'd brought it up to my ear. On the way, I took a hurried look at the phone's LCD screen. The recorded name was Daichin. Or the recorded name Daichin was being displayed there, and the phone was already in the middle of making a call. Helpless to do anything else, I put the phone against my ear and heard the sound of it ringing. At last, that sound got cut off, and in its place I heard Miss Sumi's voice. He didn't give his name. It sounded like he was downtown, as the bustle of his surroundings came in through the receiver. Rimi. Sakihata Rimi. Did Misumi know her? No, that itself wouldn't be much of a mystery in any case. Misumi was a natural-born playboy. It wouldn't surprise me to hear that he'd gone out with this demon girl in the past, or that even now they were in the thick of a hot and heavy relationship. The issue at hand was whether or not the demon girl was currently my classmate.
タク、大地出た？
The demon girl appeared at me again. Damn it, your face is too close. I turned my back to her and spoke into the phone.
僕、西条。
なんだ、バクか。ビビと一緒にいるのか？
Why did he accept it so easily? That almost made it sound like my being with the demon girl was an ordinary, everyday situation or something.
またリミに振り回されてるのか？大変だな、お前も。でもよ、一つだけ言っていい？お前、そろそろ自分の携帯変えよ。
Was the person on the other side of the phone really Misumi? For example, there was also the possibility that the demon girl had made it call some other person whose voice closely resembled Misumi in order to get me to fall into her trap. Maybe this some other person who sounded like Misumi was her underling, pretending to be Misumi in hopes of deceiving me. Anything and everything started to seem suspicious. I didn't know what was the truth and what was a lie. To begin with, what kind of trap was the demon girl trying to make me fall into by using some elaborate tricks? In a situation like this, wouldn't it be quickest for her to kill me directly? Or was the reason she had no choice but to trick me, even if it meant taking such a roundabout approach? No, it was a candid camera type thing set up by Misumi. This girl was Misumi's girlfriend, not my classmate or whatever, and he'd sent her here on purpose to tease me. That was completely ridiculous. If such were the case, how was I supposed to explain what had happened at the scene of the staking?
で、タク、なんか用か？俺としては、野郎からの電話なんてあんま嬉しくねえんだけどな。
His tone of voice was perfectly identical to Misumi's. The more I heard of it, the harder it became for me to think the person at the other end of the line was anyone other than Misumi.
女の口説き方でも教えてもらいたいのか？なわけねえか。
Should I try to get down to business and start talking? I sensed a gaze at my back. That girl was watching me steadily. The tingle at the back of my neck had yet to disappear. With what manner of expression was the demon girl looking at me? I wanted to turn around and see for myself, but I was too scared to do it.
で、なんなんだ？今俺も女と一緒なんだよ。
その うちのクラス
ああ、うちのクラスがどうしたの？
いる
何が？
女子。
あ？
It's like, of course there's a girl in our class.
先畑って名前の。
Becoming more and more incoherent, I somehow managed to explain myself. Misumi suddenly stopped answering. Silence. But I could hear the din of the city and other random noises, so it wasn't that he'd gotten disconnected. Why didn't he say anything?
お前さ、ゲーム脳じゃねえの？
What was he trying, or what was he saying all of a sudden? On top of that, why did he have to use the language of a certain kind of totally irresponsible, groundless, anti-gamer science to label me?
それって意味のことだろ？意味の携帯でかけてきてるくせに何バカなこと言ってんだお前。分かった。お前もしかしてリミに何か指図されてんだろ？いたずらかドッキリか？じゃあリミに伝えといてくれ。お前の低レベルのドッキリに引っかかる。俺はバカじゃねえってな。
本当？
あ？何が？
本当にクラスメイト。
お前な、たまにしか学校来ねえから忘れちまったか。俺はともかくお前は1年の時から同じクラスだろ。
Now, that is very hard to believe in reality. Chances of that happening is almost zero.
この前だって3人で一緒に映画見に行ったじゃねえか。
I couldn't comprehend. Was this Masumi-esque somebody was saying? It's supposed to be what this. Not was this. The demon girl and I had been in the same class since freshman year. The three of us had gone to see a movie together a little while ago, and my god, this is long. I'm about to go and just cut this, because I've got other things I need to do today. A little while ago. When?
俺がお前とダチになったのだって、最初はリミに付き合わされたのがきっかけだったしな。俺と同じでリミも物好きだからよ。ニートのお前を気にかけてやってるのは世界広しといえど俺とリミぐらいだぜ。あ、それは言い過ぎか。
The words I heard from the other side of the phone, not one of them felt real to me, because I had zero memory of anything they were referring to. I couldn't acknowledge that such past existed. The Misumi-esque somebody was talking about a story, not about the past, for the past could succeed in forming only with the support of one's memories.
っていうか、リミってマジで女っ気ないよな。これはあいつには言うなよ。
君は誰だ？
You know what? I'm just gonna end this here, and we'll find out in our main character's delusions who this is next time. Although, I think we can fairly safely say it is indeed Misumi. It's just that main character needs to have his delusions. But yeah, that's going to be it for this episode. As always, like, favorite, comment, subscribe, share, and I will see you guys next time. But until then, goodbye and farewell. And as I said at the beginning of this part, there is not going to be anything... There's basically going to be nothing uploaded next week because I'm going to be out of town because it is my spring break. And so I'm going to be visiting family. But I will have uploads, of course, up once I come back. But nonetheless, goodbye and farewell.